From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Monday, June 1st, 2015. Silver is trading at $16.71 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,188 per ounce. And according to BitcoinAverage.com, the average price of Bitcoin is $228. Antiwar.com reports members of the self-proclaimed Yemeni government in exile say the U.S. officials are in Yemen this weekend holding talks with the Shiite Houthi faction, talks which the Riyadh-based exiles are not taking part in. The reports are scant right now as neither the U.S. nor the Houthis have discussed the matter publicly, but the talks are said to be held in an indirect fashion, with the Omani government serving as mediators to ferry messages back and forth. What the talks are even about is unclear, with Yemeni officials saying they hoped it was about a UN Security Council resolution calling on the Houthis to unconditionally end resistance to them. There is also speculation the talks are related to the 4 to 5 U.S. citizens being held by the Houthis, who have been in control of the capital and much of the country since January. Saudi Arabia and other GCC nations declared war on the Houthis back in March and have been carrying out the war with U.S. support ever since. Though Oman is a GCC member, they have not participated in the war, which gives them more credibility as a mediator. Bitcoin Not Bombs is a launching pad for nonprofits and social entrepreneurs into the financial freedom of the Bitcoin economy. Bitcoin Not Bombs offers premium publicity campaigns designed to facilitate an organization's adoption of Bitcoin as a payment system. Bitcoin Not Bombs is fully committed to being the hub of the nonprofit sector of the Bitcoin economy, maximizing the potential cross-promotion of all our clients and commercial partners. To learn more, visit bitcoinnotbombs.com. UPI reports about 3,000 Venezuelans peacefully protested in the streets of Caracas, urging for the release of all political prisoners, including opposition leader Leopoldo Lopez. The protest lasted 3 hours and centered in the district of Chacal. Other demonstrations were held across Venezuela, including in the cities of San Cristobal and Puerto La Cruz. Protests were also held in Miami, Florida. Lopez, the leader of the Popular Will opposition party and former mayor of Chacal, was arrested in February 2014 on charges of inciting violent anti-government protest. Daniel Cabellos, the former mayor of San Cristobal, was arrested in March 2014 on similar charges. Lopez organized last year's protest calling for better security, an end to food shortages, and enhanced freedom of speech for citizens. The protest this year was closed by Lilian Tenori, Lopez's wife. She called for a day of fasting in solidarity with political prisoners, adding that the hunger strikes will continue until the dates of the parliamentary elections are announced, all political prisoners are released, and media censorship ends. For over 35 years, Robertson Roberts has been a trusted source for buying and selling your investment-grade precious metals. They also take Bitcoin for precious metal purchases and permanently removed the minimum purchase order for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Robertson Roberts today for knowledgeable advice on investing and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 850-478-5270 or online at rrbi.co. Reuters reports the legal authority for U.S. spy agencies' collection of Americans' phone records and other data was set to expire at midnight on Sunday after the U.S. Senate failed to pass legislation extending the powers. After debate pitting Americans' distrust of intrusive government against fear of terrorist attacks, the Senate voted to move ahead with what is being called reform legislation that would replace the bulk phone records program revealed 2 years ago by former NSA contractor Edward Snowden. Final Senate passage was delayed until at least Tuesday morning by objections from Senator Rand Paul. As a result, the government's collection and search of phone records was set to terminate at midnight when Section 215 of the USA Patriot Act expired. Eventual resumption of the phone records program in another form and the other government powers appeared likely after the Senate voted 77-17 to take up the USA Freedom Act. Senator Paul acknowledged after the procedural vote the bill will ultimately pass. Intelligence experts say a lapse of only a few days would have little effect. The government is allowed to continue collecting information related to any foreign intelligence investigation that began before the deadline. The USA Freedom Act passed the House on May 13th by a vote of 338 to 88. After the Senate adjourned, the White House issued a statement calling on the Senate to put aside partisan motivations and act swiftly. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.